So, in 3, 2, 1. Welcome everyone to CBC Comics. It's been a while. I said it before.
It's been a while.
TV one, but I'll say it again because we've got a lot of X-Men to talk about because X-Men are the hotness right now, apparently. So, yeah, you can follow the channel by Googling Comic Book Cast and find us absolutely anywhere you want. You can follow me on Twitter, @Mitch692, and then once again, I'm joined by Sean.
What's up? You can follow me at Instagram and Twitter, The Real Sean. Cindy01.
I was going to say there's some more to that.
I know just trailing off a little bit.
But yeah, not a lot of news to cover this week, but we're going to make up for that with the how many issues have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4 issues to talk about for X-Men stuff. So it should hopefully still be an hour long, at least.
At the very least.
I didn't think we were going to break an hour for the TV one, and then suddenly it's an hour and 40 minutes. I'm like, oh,
I can ramble on to cover most of that time too. So.
It's like, oh, we went on for a while, but to dive right in. DC has closed Vertigo early. We talked about on here before that they were going to close Vertigo for whatever dumb fake reason they were going to close it for. Yeah, it seems that they have quietly shut doors early, which I think it's a bigger shame than it was already. But
it's a waste of a name brand completely.
So the last issue is going to be. I think it's actually closed already.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow, they have shut it down. Wow, this is old news. I was just trying to scrape things together that we missed. So
we're making new news now.
October 23rd, it closed. The last issue effectively was the Books of Magic number 13, which I suppose ending it on a Sandman property was probably a better way to go out than anything else. Was Sandman the first thing Vertigo did?
Oh man, I'm not sure.
Sandman's the one that made the name for Vertigo, so I suppose
I'm pretty sure it was like one of the earlier. I mean, if it wasn't the first one, it was definitely one of the earliest.
So I'd put money on it being like Constantine, Swamp Thing, or Sandman. It's got to be three.
Well, I think it might have been Swamp Thing because I don't know. I'm maybe just talking out my butt, but like I'm pretty sure that the saga of the Swamp Thing kind of went into Vertigo. Maybe I'm wrong.
Just gonna quickly Google that first DC back.
Just gonna say again, very shame.
We're professionals. The first comic book published under the Vertigo imprint was the first issue of Death by Cost of Living, a 3-issue series by Neil Gaiman and Chris Bacala. So it was still a Gaiman book.
Close enough.
They start on Gaiman and they end on Gaiman. That's how we do. So, yeah, it's sad, little Tristan.
Do you think? How long do you think it takes for them to reopen the brand again? Because they've realized that this is not the right move.
I mean, the way DC been going recently with the whole we're gonna cancel all the imprints to then announce 3 the next week.
Yeah.
I would have said a week, but this is a couple of weeks old, so I can't. I don't know. Maybe I can see a relaunch next year.
Yeah, it just seems to me like I see it as them trying to, I don't know, it's like a rebranding, but
I say it feels like the hype's died down for a little bit. Let's take it away to bring it back. It seems very that generic publicity stunt, but
we're gonna see how the outrage is before. Oh, we've given what you wanted. It's back again, type moment.
It's like, aren't we really good? We listen to our fan base. It's like,
yeah,
away in the first place.
Yeah, you're the one that canceled it, and then you're telling me that you.
So it's just sad. It's just really sad.
I feel like it's a waste of because that's a brand name, people when they reopened that brand, I thought people were genuinely excited to see that stuff coming back, just for them months later to say, hey, it's gone again.
Because they had this whole entire plan of expanding the Books of Magic world, or the Sound universe. It's
let's not go through with all those plans.
So you got 13 issues, by the way. Bye. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, again, not to rag on Warner Brothers DC, but it's typical.
It's very typical for now because they do seem a bit all over the place currently. It's like, you look at Jeff Johns with Shazam. I think the next issue of that's delayed by nearly 6 months at this point. And it's like, what exactly? Something's going on over there. And someday it's going to come out.
It's a power struggle for sure, man. It sounds like there's a power struggle between, like, I don't know, like, because you don't hear too much. They definitely are good at keeping everything under wraps. So,
nothing's come out, which is shocking. No. To be fair, it might have come out. I haven't read Bleeding Cool because they're the ones that get everything.
Yeah,
like, I mean, hit some gossip, but
it's a shame though. I feel like like I thought that was like a good place for those characters to tell their stories, but now I always thought Black Label kind of sounded generic,
So it doesn't. It's a bad title, Black Label. Yeah. It sounds more like a whiskey.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, it sounds like an alcohol.
Just like, I mean, I gladly drink some DC Black Label. I think they're quite nice, but
depends on where it's coming from, man. Like,
it's true.
If it's coming from Batman the Damned, I don't want to touch any of it.
You just got a bat dong.
No. But yeah, I feel like again, it's like kind of spitting on tradition. Like
it feels like it. That's also a very Dan DiDio thing to do.
Yes, I was gonna say.
You have a legacy. Let's just spit on it.
Let's take it. Let's take it. Let's put it on the ground and tramp on it a couple times, and then it does
very,
sound like
very Dan DiDio thing. So, you like Dick Grayson? Tough.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah.
Say hello to Rick.
Yeah, Rick Grayson. I still can't get over that thing, man. Like, I'm not a huge Nightwing fan, but that just sounded ridiculous.
It's dumb. To be fair, what's worse, Rick Grayson or Drake?
I don't know, man. They sound both equally bad,
It's like I can't tell if Drake was a Bendis idea or the Dio idea. It sounds like it could go either way or both.
Sounds like a mixture of, like, it's like they got together and made a baby, and that's exactly what came up.
It's just like, we need to make Tim Drake no longer a Robin. He needs a new suit, like a UPS man. He's got to be named after a bird, and like let's name him with a name he already has, which incidentally means a male duck, and we'll try and pass it off as the deadliest bird on the planet. Right?
The mallard.
It's like,
yeah. I mean, I don't think I've ever been scared of any ducks, let alone a duck that looks like a UPS employee.
See, now if we called him Goose, terrifying.
Yeah.
Swan, terrifying. A swan nearly took my uncle.
I'll even take mallard as a terrifying.
Yeah, mallard. Yeah.
But rest in peace.
Some strange this season. Yeah, definitely rest in peace. Because
I'll pour.
You'll be
pour
back
40
sooner or later. No.
I'll pour 40 on the sidewalk for you. And hope for the best.
Like the Swamp Thing, you will regrow, I imagine.
Yeah, eventually, when they realize how stupid they are. Like,
when the Dio retires, if he ever retires,
yeah.
be back.
I'm pretty sure that guy will outlive everybody else and terrorize.
It's just the next Alan Moore. He's just constantly there.
I would honestly take Alan Moore over him.
I mean, the way Alan Moore is, I think if he ever took over DC, he'd look at that like a proper. I'm going to stick it to him.
Let's change Robin into like a hummingbird now. He's been every other bird.
I mean, at least that would have some practical implications.
Yeah, like
a duck. What's he going to do? Eat bread?
What's his weakness?
He can't fight near a bakery for fear of exploding. He can't digest.
Can't digest like Alka-Seltzer. That's how the enemies defeat him. They just bait him into like a circle and throw Alka-Seltzer at him until he explodes.
I just slapped my mic, so I apologize for that clunk which you heard. Just like, ooh. But we're gonna like DC let Vertigo to rest.
Let's not beat a dead duck to death with this,
So yeah, moving on to something of greener pastures and happier tides. Giant Size X-Men is set to return in 2020, I believe it's 2020. Just gonna double check that. Yes, 2020. It's a series of one-shots I'm not entirely sure how many one-shots there's going to be,
Mm-hmm.
but it is Hickman doing it for Dawn of X, and the first one's going to be Jean Grey and Emma Frost.
I'm sold.
It's a very interesting team up. I don't think they've ever really teamed up before.
I'm sure they hate each other, and it should be interesting.
But will they hate each other in this new world of mutants?
They probably realize that the guy that they were fighting over for the longest time is a dick anyways. But so,
well, I mean, Jean's having a monogamous relationship right now. Clearly,
that's true. That's true.
She has no closed doors, or doors in general too closed.
Probably no walls either. But
just walk through, Logan. It's fine.
Still can't get over that one though. Sorry.
In fact, I feel a bit sorry for Emma. Why was she left out of that? No.
Yeah, I mean, like, what's better than an even number,
I was gonna say, why be odd,
But
be even.
So these are gonna be like spotlights.
I imagine so. So.
It's a good idea to bring that I don't know, title back, I guess. Like you sold me a Hickman the minute you heard.
Oh, absolutely same. I saw Giant Size and Hickman, and I was like, done.
Pre-order all the covers, man.
God, I can't. They're gonna like cash in on the covers. Absolutely gonna cash. It's also going to be drawn by Russell Dortmund, so it's gonna look fantastic. But the little solicit is the New Mutant Nation of Krakoa is the place where fresh starts, and Jean and Emma, known for their fierce rivalry, will unite to rescue Storm from danger. The two powerful telepaths are in good hands, as artist Russell Dortmund will be the first to partner with Hickman for the series. Dortmund will be accompanied by expert colorist Wilson. So it seems like each issue is going to have a different artist, which fair enough.
Do you think it's going to be a different writer?
No, I think it's all Hickman.
Okay, I'm good. I'm good. Good.
I'm all sold. If they take Hickman off of it, then it's a mistake, and goodbye, Giant Size.
Take that off my pull list.
But this definitely feels like they're trying to cash in on like old X-Men titles.
Yeah.
It's like people love, Giant Size is iconic for X-Men. Just in general, like let's have a series of one shots called Giant Size.
Yeah, I'm sure that first one's gonna spike into like oblivion for the price after the.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think we have a page count, which.
Well, I mean, it's Giant Size.
I'd hope it's literally Giant Size, and it's not just the name.
It's just the name of them. It has to be at least a double issue, right?
It's got to be.
The very least.
It'd be like 33 pages, and they'd be like, it's bigger than normal.
It's 2 pages bigger.
Or it's just printed bigger. The light is big. Done.
What if they just go that way and just put like one of those coffee table books? I'd just say Giant Size X-Men #1.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be mad at the same time. Just be like, you know what? Fine. It's big.
Just gotta find a box in a bag big enough for that.
So I hope my shelf can hold it, but
Yeah, I mean, it seems really interesting. Is that the only one that was announced? Like
that's the only one we know of so far.
Yeah, man. What do you think the future ones might hold? I mean, like, do you have an idea?
I don't know. From the first one, if they're gonna do like fresh starts for new characters, just pick any 2 characters. Give me like a Wolverine and Gorgon.
Yeah. Do you think they're gonna? I think they're gonna look at the new teams, like the new characters, and just try. Like, I'm sure they're gonna
possibly give new people a spotlight. That'd be a cool idea.
Like, I'm sure that they're gonna take some of the most popular characters that came out of the X Powers of 10 book.
Yes, doing was it Cardinal and Rasputin? That would be if it's a book about fresh starts, bringing those 2 back in would be perfect for it, really.
Yeah, I mean, like, who's to say that it's like all linear? I mean, they could be telling it from any time period that it was.
Very true. Very true.
That would be interesting. Tell me more, man.
Just trying to think of who else they could do. I suppose you could make one for Charles and Eric.
Yeah, I mean, do you think Moira will get one? I mean, like, it's almost.
Fun fact: Moira's getting her own series.
Yeah.
So
who would? Okay, I'm gonna just take a minute. Like,
go back 6 months.
Yeah, or you go back a year or 2 and tell me that
Moira wasn't on anyone's radar. Not even Marvels. No.
Yeah, in like people like unless you're a hardcore X-Men fan, Omura is not like a name that you go, hey, by the way, she's going to be the most important character going forward.
And no one was sitting there being like, Moira McTaggart is my favorite character. I'd read a book about Moira McTaggart, fast forward a year. It's just like, oh, I would really read a book about Moira McTaggart.
It's just too bad they didn't start this trend in the movie, I'm sure.
I mean, is it too bad? Because now we can have it for the good movies. They would have wasted it before.
That's true.
Yeah, they couldn't even do Days of Past right. No.
Touche. Hot take. Too bit touche.
Is it a hot take?
I mean, you talk to certain people, they think that's like.
I mean, to be fair, people do like that movie.
But I'm in your camp. I thought it was kind of garbage.
Yeah, so just like, what is this movie? Like, it's done nothing it said it was gonna do.
It felt like a hodgepodge of different ideas.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for the giant size X-Men to return. Like the possibilities of like stories they could tell in this is pretty big.
And the way the X-Men are going now, they just got to say X-Men's coming up by it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of suckered in. It's like, I never thought I'd be this much into X-Men. Like, here we are. You put X-Men on something.
Basically, like writing the. Yeah, I mean, like I'm the same way. Like, 6 months ago, like even before, like a year ago, I wouldn't have ever told you I would be buying like X-Men comics. Nope. Now I'm like buying them by the truckload. Like
it's a time to be alive, all right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, X-Men is very 90s again. Like,
and I don't think it's gonna end anytime soon. I mean, like with the MCU, developing.
Well, I mean, if you're Rob Liefeld, it's not gonna last.
Like, I don't even think Rob Liefeld isn't Rob Liefeld. So I mean, like, I only, like, yeah, I mean, like,
my only hope for all these books is they all kind of rotate in and out.
Yeah.
So, like, as much as I love Marauders, and we'll talk about that in a minute, I don't really want to be reading Marauders on top of the next 12 X-Men books down the line. Like, make them all kind of minis and keep everything fresh and just keep going that way.
Well, I think that would be the best option because you don't want to I hate using the word oversaturate, but this would pretty much be the appropriate way to use it.
I mean, there's already too many X-Men books as it is.
Yeah.
Like, the worst part is none of them are bad.
I always like the idea of toying with the way of like season, like runs,
like what they used to, like they did like a couple of years ago, like all new, all different, and then
they would stop that and begin that series. I mean, seeing what they're doing with the X-Men now, it's kind of would be kind of hard because they're trying to reestablish the status quo for the X-Men. But like, I mean, if next year they could probably do something like that and try to keep it from because like eventually that's just gonna be tiring and expensive to try to keep buying like 30, the books just get more expensive anyway. So like it's and like with like puppets like me, I had to buy.
I think all the first issues for the phase 1 of Dawn of X is like nearly 30 quid. It's just like that's kind of like, to be fair, that's not obviously not in one go. It's spread out over like a month and a bit, but that's still a lot to have.
It's a lot of money
just on the X-Men. Is crazy.
Yeah, like I mean, if it like kind of continues like down that road, because people will end up waiting and buying.
Yeah, they'll trade away. Yeah.
The trades, and that kind of hurt. That I think that happened a couple times with, because it's just people just kind of like, I can't keep buying weekly issues from every other series, and then people just wait for the trade, like.
And I say this more in a case of like I want to read other stuff as well, so I don't burn myself out in the X-Men really quickly. But as it stands right now, I know it's only like an issue a week, but I'm too focused on the X-Men.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, look at the conversation. Like, it's dominated by the X-Men. What else are we talking about? Like,
And say it's been like 2 months and I haven't talked about anything.
Yeah, I'm not complaining about it. It's just,
oh no,
like,
it's all fantastic, but it's just like,
but like I wanted to continue kind of. I don't want people to get burnt out from.
No,
like it could. The writing could be fantastic. The art could be fantastic, but like being burnt out on a property could also be a bad thing for.
Also,
like
look
this.
what he's done to other books. Remember Contagion?
Yeah.
I forgot that came out. I didn't even realize it came out. I saw no one talk about that. It's all been X-Men. It's just like,
well, it's because it got overshadowed by a lot of the books, and like it just I felt like they just kind of threw it out there and left it for dead. Like I mean, and to be fair, the series I don't think was meant to be anything long lasting or.
Oh no.
So it kind of came off as like a what if or something like that, So I don't know, like I'm with you there. Like I would love to like kind of read other things, but I just can't always do that because I'm reading like 2 to 3 to 4 X-Men books a week, like. And the next thing you know, I'm just like regurgitating like comic panels to my wife,
Now we're gonna put a cap on that one and move on to more X-Men news.
Yeah. Funny. That's funny. Weird, man.
Who just thought that one?
Weird.
Speaking of more X-Men titles, here's another one. If you remember, or people remember, all the way back in House of X #1, there was a really good scene between the Fantastic Four and the X-Men, mainly Scott.
Yeah.
But they brought up a character who belongs to the Fantastic Four, who was in fact a mutant. And that is, of course, Franklin Richards. Now, he hasn't really been mentioned since, but there's a reason for that, and that's because he's going to be getting, in 2020, his own series.
Weird. No way.
Yeah. And another book. Whether it's a mini or not, I'm unaware. It more than likely is a mini, to be honest. Yeah. But this is one, completely contradicting what I just said about the last topic. This is one I think we needed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like 100%, this is 100%. A book that we had to have. Like the Moira McTaggart or Lives of Moira McTaggart, this is something we need to have. Franklin Richards is too big of a player to just have a one-off line and then forget about it.
Yeah, but, it's definitely an essential story that needs to be told because, like, he's a powerful. He's like one of the.
He lives to the end of the universe, so.
Yeah. So. Is there any announcement of like creative team for this?
Chip Zdarsky is going to be writing this. So if you like Chip Zdarsky, like Sex Criminals, Daredevil, Marvel's 2-in-1, which is really good before Fantastic back. I can't think what else he did. What else did Chip Zdarsky do? He did the Spider-Man life story. Yep. People really like that one. So he's proven he's not just a funny guy. And
the Sex Criminal thing is definitely interesting.
Sex Criminals is fantastic. I need to catch up on it. Like actually reread and then finish off that. It's coming to an end, which is sad, but fantastic. So yeah, this is going to be a very, very interesting book. Yeah. He's also going to be joined by Terry and Rachel Dodson. Okay. So going to have a nice little lot.
I mean, this could definitely be like one of the supplemental books that needs to be told because like that was kind of a dangling thread on from that that issue.
Very purposeful dangling thread.
For sure.
Like we're gonna leave this little nugget here and then come back to it later on.
Yeah, next year and his own series.
Give it 5 months, you'll know exactly
precisely. This goes. So I mean, like, so what do you think, man? Do you think he turns? Like,
well, that's the question, isn't it? Is he going to go with them, or is he going to stay with the Fantastic Four?
I think that might be the crux of the series. Like
I think it's got to be, surely, right?
Yeah, I mean, but like, how old is he? Like right now? Like,
I believe they aged him and Valeria up when they brought the FF back. I want to say they're like teens now.
Oh, that's
opposed to kids. I think whatever they were before, add 5 years onto it, and that's what.
Okay, so teenagers. Yeah. That's interesting because like you normally picture Franklin Richards as that small little kid that's pretty nice. You add a couple years to it, make him a teen. That becomes something completely different.
And like, I wonder if he's going to play off what Dan Slott's been doing, because Slott had the thing where his powers were a bit wonky at one point. So,
and surely the Fantastic Four are definitely going to be in that.
Oh yeah, I think it's called Fantastic Four and X-Men, or plus X-Men, or X-Men and plus Fantastic Four, or just 4X.
4X again. Didn't they use that title with the old?
I think they have. I think they've used 4X before. I'm not sure.
But it
sounds familiar. But like, if you look at the cover, you got Storm, you got Xavier, you got Kitty Pryde, you got Sue Storm, and you got Franklin. And obviously Sue's going to play a bigger part in it because she's the mother, and you don't mess with the mother and the child.
Yeah. I mean, you could like. That's the one person I would be more afraid of, and she's like probably one of the most powerful.
Oh, yeah, she's like, God, you don't get on the wrong side of Sue, you'll just choke the planet.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I mean, this is a person that could basically kill you while you're sleeping. You know,
like, you wouldn't even know she's there. You just die. Like,
I don't know. You might be too young, but like, there was a series called I don't know if it was like Fantastic Four versus, and it was just like them versus. It might have been X-Men versus, and it had like it was like back in the 80s. It was like a miniseries of 4, I believe, and like. It had the X-Men fighting against specific big teams in the Marvel universe. This one was more about like Mephisto manipulating people, but like I could see something like that happening, like especially right now with how the X-Men are like really volatile and like kind of like I don't want to say outlawish, you know.
I mean, a certain series of X-Men is very outlawish.
Yeah. And I'm sure we'll get to that one.
Oh, we would definitely get to that in a minute. I can't wait.
But like, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I always go back to like, what are these other these super teams are thinking while like this is all going on? You know, like. So
we've still yet to see the Avengers interact.
See, that's the thing about
that. So, it's so weird. Like, Fantastic Four was obviously going to be the first people to, because Franklin,
yeah.
Where's like, unless the Avengers haven't caught up to this timeline yet, I'm not 100% sure whereabouts it is. Like,
yeah, that's the only thing that I can think of is like, what time? Like, is it like, have they ever specifically said what time period this is all taking place? Like,
they've made reference to it. There's something coming out with Avengers and X-Men soon. I can't remember what it's called or anything, but it's got the current lot on there. So they've obviously it has to be happening not concurrently, but close enough.
Close enough, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Avengers are probably like a couple of months behind at this point in the time.
So this would probably be in like what when No Surrender or would be, or like. Maybe I'm thinking.
Yeah, I don't even know when like No Surrender or No Road Home take place.
Yeah,
it's there.
Yeah, it's all wonky. You know, like I wish someone would come up with like some Hickman looking graph to kind of put everything together to see where everything kind of like lays at this time period. You know, like where the state of like, you know, certain characters, certain like Wakanda. You know, like because we don't know if Wakanda's like where, if they are still that nation, or like it's so weird. I guess I don't know.
It's like all we know is it takes place in the present Marvel, because obviously the Fantastic Four back there in their current costumes. That's the only concrete way I could say it. Until they actually physically interact with everyone else on a larger scale.
It's all guessing. Right?
So I tell you what, if they ever interact with Thor, that's going to be the big. If Thor's like Jason Aaron, it takes place before.
And like
if it's Donny Cates, you know when it is.
Yeah, because he's got that specific look in the Avengers.
Also, I think Tony might be a giveaway as well.
Yeah. I mean, is Tony still like an AI at this point?
No, Tony. Well.
Oh yeah.
He is, but he isn't. No.
Here we go. The guessing game.
Kind of the crux of the book. Like, is he a person? Is he not? Like, is he a robot? Is he an android? What is he? Don't know.
Yeah,
he doesn't know.
I guess if they kind of gave a like anything like specific for certain characters, they'd be kind of painting themselves into a corner.
Mm.
You know, so I mean, I'm kind of looking forward to it because that would be interesting to see like what like one of the biggest super teams thinks of this whole situation. Yeah.
Especially now when they're very like worldwide politically charged.
Yeah. Yeah, and especially like they're basically threatening world leaders. You know, like
yeah.
You know, like that. I mean, just like you know, it seems like an act of war to me. If you walked up to a nation and said like, you really don't have any choice. If you want to do it, then we'll do it. We'll give you this, and if you don't want to, we're still gonna do it.
Yeah.
And you can't do anything really about it. So
it's very Charles Xavier.
Yeah. That's
but it's like what would just trying to spit it out here. Like, what do they want Franklin for? Like, obviously, they want Franklin to kind of cement their place because you know he can do whatever he wants. But
well, I think it's like to me, it sounds like they want to beef up their ranks.
Yeah.
Like, because like if he's a teenager and he's got this power, regardless if it's wonky or not, you know, he's still one of the most powerful like beings in the universe. Yeah. You know, like if you like at this point, it's like. I feel like the nations of the world are like, yeah, all right, we might have a chance looking at like landscape right now, but like if some character that can basically shift, you know, do anything, says I'm on this side now.
I'll say that shifts a hell of a lot.
Yeah, that definitely kind of says, all right, well, I mean, I don't think we could do much with you know, like it creates a little bit more of a problem for the nations of the world, you know, like. Yeah, that. I mean, to me, that's what it feels like. It's like they're trying.
Also, if he does join the X-Men, what's the implications for everything else? You know, people aren't going to be happy with the Fantastic Four for letting him go.
Well, I think this. I mean, like, you really never see. I don't think you've ever seen that Fantastic Four like angry, like very like. No, I'm gonna get you, you know, and like. But if you turn your kid against them, I think that you might see a different aspect of that team, you know, because
I just want to see them show Sue for who she is. Like it's been too long that they've let Sue just be like ignored. And people be like, "Oh, she turns invisible. What the hell can she do?"
Yeah,
it's like no, you don't get how Sue works. Like the Sue, from what I understand, the Sue miniseries recently kind of really showed that you don't really mess with her.
Yeah,
but it's kind of like let's put it in, like have her get just rampage on Krakoa.
Well, I mean, like we were saying, I mean, like this is like she's got untapped. She's like right now she's keeping herself in check. You know, like once you start introducing like certain emotions, I'm pretty sure that's kind of volatile, and like it's like you don't want like everybody kind of underestimates the Fantastic Four. I think sometimes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And like you look at like the team, and I think you got one of the world's smartest persons for one, and he's willing to bend, you know, different rules. Yeah. Different rules to accomplish, you know, and then you get like Sue Storm and Johnny, and they're pretty powerful on their own, you know, like I don't know. I mean, I think if they're written right, I think it would be. I think I would love to see them just unleash, you know.
It'd be definitely interesting to see them just absolutely go nuts. Cause if he's taken by force, God help them.
And I think this could turn. That into it because you're taking your family away. You know,
exactly. Yeah.
You know, you're like it's. I don't know. Did they ever explore that when Valeria was like basically siding with Doom a while back?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I can't remember that. I know she went with Doom, but I can't remember a lot about it.
But I think this might be a little different because like Doom is kind of like the weird uncle that like he's not literally family, but he is. I mean, he's in that like.
He's a surrogate at this
point. Yeah,
point,
he's kind of like in that weird, parameters of that, but like you're looking at the X-Men now, and it just seems like a cult,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's 100% a sex cult. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's 100% a sex cult.
If you see Charles walking around with pants like halfway down his ass or butt, like.
I mean, he's walking around in a gimp suit. Like,
that is true. But like, yeah, I mean, I think that would be different because like it's like I feel like that would be an act of war on that.
Yeah.
Because you're taking your kid and you put him in a cult. Just give me. If there's any parents out there, like, just think about that. Your kid is basically brainwashed.
What would you do to get?
Yeah. A little Liam Neeson, situation.
God, that'd be hilarious. But right,
without
we are gonna cap, hopefully without the the racism from Liam Neeson. Hopefully, we can all but hope. But we're gonna cap on that one, and we're gonna carry on talking about X-Men. We're gonna talk about the issues that we have missed currently. So we're going to start it off with, I believe, Marauders. So Marauders #1 by Jerry Dagon, and fantastic issue.
Yeah. Great first issue, man.
Unexpectedly funny. I wasn't expecting the humor in it, but no. Dagon, he wrote Deadpool for a while, so it's not a surprise that he's funny.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting it here, but hey, we got it here. And so the whole crux, and we're going to talk about it a little bit, is Kitty Pryde can't walk into Krakoa. She is denied from the Krakoan gates, which she's supposed to let every mutant through, except her, apparently. So Emma Frost recruits her to be essentially a pirate, and she's now going around doing like black market deals and getting mutants who can't walk through the gates to Krakoa.
Yeah, I like the team too. Like,
it's a very interesting lineup. Like, obviously, Pyro's back, and it's the original Pyro.
Fire and Ice, man.
Yeah, you got Bobby Drake, Iceman. You got Storm, who's reluctantly there. I'm trying to look at the cover for it. Who else is on it?
Lockheed's on the.
Lockheed's there, yeah, and he eats a dude's fingers off in one panel.
I love the look that they have for Kitty now. Like it's especially with the bandage on the nose, man. It just adds to
the unfortunate broken nose from walking into a solid light wall. Yeah. But no, it was a very, very surprising book. I shouldn't be surprised because I love Jerry Duggan's stuff, but the concept wasn't like, I don't think that well put forward in the market. It's just like, oh, pirates, cool, yeah. And it's like, oh, this is really cool.
Bishop's on there too, right?
What's that?
Bishop's
there, yes. How did I forget about Bishop?
To
be fair, he wasn't in there that much, so that's my excuse. But now, the big thing: why can't Kitty walk through Kate Pryde walk through the gates?
I don't know, man. Do you think that like Krakoa can make mistakes?
Oh, 100%, yeah. Because Krakoa controls the gates and who goes and who can't, like who can walk through them. So it's either House of X or Powers of 10. They were saying about who can go in. Like they have to ask permission, or like I think it was Cypher saying it. But like, there's some weird thing going on there. But I think Krakoa and Kitty Pryde do have a history.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Like maybe he's got like a grudge against her or something.
It's either got a grudge against it. Emma Frost is manipulating her, which she's doing that regardless. But how she'd stop her getting into the gate, I don't know.
Well, don't they have a history too? Like Emma Frost and Kitty Pryde. I mean,
absolutely.
They've had like a pretty tenacious relationship before, so maybe that.
There's something with that. I'm sure we'll find out because obviously there's no second issue to any of these X-Men books in a minute. But the last theory that's going around is probably the most interesting one. All the way back in Return of Wolverine, there was a series, I believe, by Jim Zub that was like Iron Man, Laura Kinney Wolverine, Jessica Jones, and Cage.
Oh yeah. The search for Wolverine, right?
Yeah. And in that, they went against Mr. Sinister, and they saw the database of all the mutants. And in one of them, Tony finds out that an X-Men isn't a mutant, that they have a sleeper agent. Now, nothing ever came about that. That was a plot thread that was just completely dropped.
Mm-hmm.
And now we get here, and we have a very prominent mutant who can't walk through a gate designed only for mutants.
Yeah.
So
that's more interesting than my theory.
Is it possible she's not actually a mutant? But then again, it's like we're kind of the Jewish mutants don't have a good history of staying.
Yeah,
it's just true.
That would be
let's not do it again. Yeah. So
do you think that does the clone do you think does the clones register as mutants too? Like, do they register?
Well, it depends. Do you still class Laura Kinney as a clone?
Currently, no.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Because
like knowing what you know now, no.
Yeah. But even though, to be fair, her book currently, or the book she has, still classed her as a clone. Which, forget that book. That sucked. But so she's obviously been Uncle Krakoa if she's still classed as a clone, and then that's kind of works that way. But I'm not sure. I don't think we have any clones currently Uncle Krakoa. Unless she's Gabby. Gabby's a clone.
Yeah,
she's a clone of Laura, and she's on there.
Laura, yeah. All right, theory out. Debunked. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Then again, it could be a clone of Kitty Pryde without the mutant gene.
I mean, there's so many different. I mean, the two avenues. I like the last theory that you just said more than my theory. My theory seems kind of
That's the one I'm kind of sticking with.
Yeah.
But
I mean, but then,
sure.
do you think they're committed to? I mean, I guess that's a stupid question because, I mean, Hickman is in charge of that universe, so that would be like, hey, he is known for making really, really, really interesting choices.
But Hickman's always said that this one's going to be the most important one next to X-Men, so it's obviously an idea him and Dagon have agreed upon, and that's the direction they're going to take it. But I don't know, it's such a. Because they don't even really focus on it. It's like, oh yeah, she's the one that can't get through the gate, and then let's move on to the rest of it. But it's such a big point that they kind of not glossed over it because it's only the first issue, obviously. But
yeah, do you think? Yeah, do you think that if that is the case, do you think that Emma Frost knows? Because she's. I mean, she is.
Know. Can she read DNA and or go that far into someone?
I guess go back to maybe does this Kitty or Kate know that she is?
She's Kate Pryde.
Yeah. Do you think Kate Pryde knows it? If that's the case, do you think she knows that she's the sleeper agent? That she would be the sleeper agent?
No, because she was too shocked. Yeah. Unless she knows she's asleep, but she doesn't realize she's not a mutant.
Yeah.
You could get really convoluted. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, we're just throwing ideas out on the wall and figuring it. But, I think that's the fun part, though. But, yeah, I mean, yeah, that I think that would be more interesting if it was the case. At least they would be, picking up on threads in the past and then kind of paying it off.
Because it's also, Pryde's obviously she's a huge important character to mutants and X-Men, and I don't know, making her not a mutant is kind of it's a bit
risky.
It is a bit risky. I was gonna say slap in the face, but
yeah, that too. But stuff I always feel that I don't think it's a slap in the face. If it's an interesting story, if they're telling it really
it depends how they do it. I've got full faith in Hickman and Dagon to do it. It's just it's a very tight rope to cross.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that definitely, but I feel like if it's done interestingly and it makes sense and it's very entertaining, comic books could change. They I'm sure there's been stuff in the past that has been canon, and they recanon it, and then like like this is just like, I feel like if it's lazily done, then it's bad. Then I think that would be a slap in the face. But if it's like, if it's all interesting and like it progresses the story and like it like makes the character more, like more than like the 3-dimensional character. Yeah, I'm all for it. It's just when they just don't do it good and it's not planned out. It's just like,
it's like, hey, she's no longer a mutant. Goodbye.
Have fun. Oh, it sort of reminds me of like when they took away Spider-Man's marriage. It just like, what was the point? Like, why? Or outed him as Peter Parker. None of it made the character more interesting. It just was shocking, to be shocking, and like, if you can get past that part, I'm okay with like, because like characters get reset all the time.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, none of this is like set in stone until, I mean, in the context of the storyline, it's set in stone. But like 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, once Hickman's done with his story and another writer comes on, that all could be recanalized.
I mean, for all we know, if it is the case that they are making her no longer a mutant, they could very well have it as part of the story of getting her to become a mutant again.
Exactly. I think it's just, to me, like, nothing is like sacred for me. No. Like it's as long as it's interesting and like it tells a really interesting story, I'm okay with it. Like, just make sure it's like good. And not just like slapped together in a notebook somewhere, like just to sell issues, it's, just to shock somebody, because I think that's the wrong reasons to do that type of stuff for like characters, but like, I'm okay with it if it, I actually feel like that's more of the interesting storyline than Krakoa having a grudge against her, like that to me just seems like a lazy, like anybody could write that story.
But no, another interesting bit as well is she wasn't Emma Frost's first choice.
Okay.
For the whole Hellfire Club bit, she was in fact her third. So
that's interesting.
And we know one of the choices was Storm, but she turned it down. Like, there's a whole point in the issue of Storm was not really on board, pun intended, because boat. But at the same time, she's gonna be there for Kate. So I mean, really having to think to call her Kate, so I'm just gonna call her Kitty. She's Kitty Pryde. She'll always be Kitty Pryde.
I mean that. Yeah, I mean, like, because it's just that's who you're. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with all this, man. Like, Hickman, I can't really. I will never, like, if Hickman thinks that if this is the case and like she's no longer a mutant. If this is Hickman's idea, I'm okay with it. Like, so, and it tells
he's obviously got a plan for it.
Yeah, and like I think he's like one of the writers and creators that I just say, yeah, man, I'm going with it. Like I'm not gonna like cry about like certain aspects of anything, man, because like I'm not really like I said, I'm not. It's nothing sacred, as long as you do it good. Yeah. And like I always feel like I always give him the benefit of the doubt because he's never really let me down.
No, I can't think of a bad Hickman.
But like another question, do you think if it's the case, you think that this could create a backlash towards him?
I mean, maybe, but again, what doesn't cause a backlash to a writer?
That's true.
It's always something.
That's true. Yeah, I guess that's just asking a question I already know the answer to. Like everybody has problems with everything.
Now, speaking of changes that people might have some problems with, we're going to move on to Excalibur #1. The E, if you haven't noticed, if you put these issues together, spell out X-Men. So the E in the X-Men currently. Another really good issue, personally.
Yeah, I like it.
I really enjoyed this one. It's more of a Betsy Braddock focused, because it's obviously she's got to become Captain Britain somehow. Yeah. So we focus on that. We've obviously got Apocalypse. You got Rogue, you got Gambit, you got Jubilee. Am I missing anyone from there?
Who's the guy?
Was it Banshee?
Banshee.
Is it Banshee? I can't.
No, it's. I don't know, man. Like, I can't tell who the guy on the cover is. I can't.
The guy between Betsy and Rogue.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't remember who it is either.
And who's Trinary?
Trinary, yeah, she's a Tom Taylor creation from X-Men Red.
Red, yeah.
She's I believe the Indian mutant who can control technology and all that. She talks to Sentinels and stuff like
that. I love this issue, man. Like,
I can't remember the old Excalibur. I assume it's a very similar concept to it.
Yeah, I mean,
obviously that had Kitty Pryde in it more.
Yeah, Kitty Pryde, Megan, Nightcrawler. I think that. I mean, this is a pretty different lineup. I mean, like the Betsy thing is like more of a stand-in for Captain Britain.
Yeah.
But everybody else.
I'm kind of glad they've made her Captain Britain because since they separated her from I can't think of the girl's name. Is it Quayon? Quanon or something. I can't remember how you pronounce it or how it's even spelled. But obviously, separated from her, so she's now just Betsy Braddock. She's no longer Psylocke. Like she needs something to do. She's too popular a character just to leave the wayside.
She can't serve as the old Psylocke character.
No, because obviously we've got her running around still, which will come out this week in Fallen Angels.
And in a surprise return too in this issue, a character that nobody probably remembers. Like the brother of Betsy. And Brian.
Oh, I saw that and I was like, wow.
And he's a pretty powerful.
That's a hell of a pull. I believe so. Yeah.
Like, I love Brian Braddock as the Captain Britain, but like, I mean, I like this I like a lot better than putting Brian Braddock in that team.
Yeah, it makes it different and they just spiced it up slightly. So obviously she's now going to have to learn how to be like part of the Captain Britain Corps and all that. Also, she looks far better than he ever did.
Yeah.
Like, the armor with obviously the sword and the shield stuff. It's just cool.
I was an outlier. I kind of like the design of the Captain Britain character. The old one. I'm saying this that not have anything to do with the Union Jack. I mean,
and don't get me started on the Union Jack costume either. Like, Americans can't do our flag justice on suits. To be fair,
they can barely do our flag.
I was going to say, to be fair, the Captain America suit is Puerto Rico, so it shouldn't be much of a surprise.
But I kind of dig the whole like changing up the set. Like I can't remember exactly because it's been a while since I read it. But like, what happened to Britain? Like Brian, did he get like turned?
I keep wanting to say Morgan Le Fay, but it's not Morgan Le Fay, is it? It's or is it Morgan Le Fay?
I think it's Morgan Le Fay. Yeah.
I keep wanting to say it's either her or the actual witch from the Arthurian legend. What is it?
I'm pretty sure it was Morgan Le Fay.
Or Morgana, something
Morgana,
like that. Yeah. I'm pretty certain it was Morgan Le Fay. It's been 2 weeks since this came out, so forgive us. But yeah, she turns Braddock or Brian.
It's
so
like
she's like you need to serve your kingdom, like what you do, and then he just turns.
He turns into her avatar, right?
Yeah, pretty much. He's kind of just like Black Knight at this point.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, cool.
Didn't he? I thought when I read that issue, I literally thought that Black Knight, they killed Black Knight because like the character that was wearing the costume when he drowned in him in the cauldron.
Yeah,
it kind of looked like.
Yeah. But also, I wouldn't be surprised if Black Knight shows up in this. It's like a perfect spot for him.
Yeah, I mean, the last time we saw him, he was kind of intertwined with that mythology, right?
Yeah,
like he was a king.
I can't remember if he's king of Weird World at this point.
Yeah, I believe he's king of Weird World, and that's a huge part of like that Excalibur myth.
And as I say, wasn't Weird World and Excalibur like one and the same at one point?
Yeah. I kind of want to see the Crazy Gang come back for some reason.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'm like 80% positive that's going to happen because like it's just too weird of a group to not include. But yeah, I mean, I love the lineup, man. I mean, like, it all makes sense to me.
Yeah.
You know, like the.
And it's also putting characters like Rogue and Gambit in, like, you know, a more magical situation where
Yeah.
they're not, you don't really see them that often, and you know, it kind of went into like how the gates worked, which is like how, I mean, that's what I like about these issues. They're all fleshing out how everything works.
Yeah.
How like the economy works. These people, how society works, how the gates work, and Crow works. Like, it's all slowly fleshing out.
It's like peeling back the onion of all this, you know, all the mythology.
Yeah, and it's also it's giving reason to read each book, which it's so much better than being like, hey, here's a tie-in book for sake of having a tie-in book, sort of thing.
And this issue kind of answers the question that we were asking about Apocalypse too, in a way.
What was the question we were asking about Apocalypse?
Well, like what he was like, was he really on board with?
Oh yeah.
You know, with the whole like, you know, I think
he seems very on board. No one else seems to like the fact that he's there, which good.
Yeah, and like I don't know, man. I really dig the team. I'm glad that they turned Jubilee back into an actual human and not a vampire anymore.
Vampire Jubilee's dumb. They keep going back to it, and it's like, why? It doesn't work.
It was so bad.
Also, she hasn't got the kid. Or did she have the kid?
I don't remember her the kid in the issue.
I think they might have mentioned it, but she's like, oh, it's like a babysitter or something. It's just like, oh, I think that's fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, I like the way they just kind of stripped away, like, I think the kid is involved. I mean, if you look at, you open the cover up, and then you see like the first, like, it was like a kind of a synopsis of what's going on.
Yeah. It
shows like the small pictures, and it shows Jubilee with a kid.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I look. I like, this was the one I was kind of looking forward to reading.
Same.
Because like the colors kind of like
I say the cover's what grabbed me when they announced it, and like, obviously the cover's the selling point for everything, and I was instantly sold on that. But I haven't read much of Teenie Howard's stuff. She's an anomaly for me in the writers' world, but you know, she did enough to sell me on this one. It's kind of like the first 3 issues of everything that's come out are kind of like the safe for me to stick with. So she's done a good job with it. So
yeah, I think they got some really good creative teams on these books,
and they all feel different.
Yeah, but they kind of feel different, but they also kind of like connect to each other in some way.
Yeah. It's very Marvel, like Marvel Studios. Two face Marvel Comics, I suppose. Really, it's just say, it was how it should be. You know, they've all got their own voice when they're all going towards the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to the next issue. Just on that cliffhanger alone, I kind of like was like,
yeah, poor Rogue. She kind of came in here, touched the thing, and then got turned to stone. So it's like, okay, let's get rid of the fan favorite straight away to focus on the other ones.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like a good idea in a way.
Oh, it makes the most sense. Like the way they did it and explained how it would work. Like, it makes no sense.
And it like. Gambit's never been a strong point for me. With any books.
He's a weak character.
I think people just gravitate the way he looks and like and all that other like the aesthetic of him. But like in this issue, he didn't really bug me as much. He
didn't really do much.
Yeah,
he just kind of stood there and was like,
stood there. But it's interesting to see how he kind of deals with the surroundings. Like, I mean, this is kind of weird. I mean, like, this is weirder than normal, you know.
I say he seems to be that voice, that perspective, like more of the audience or the readers, and it's like, Apocalypse being here's weird. These gate things are weird. The fact that the crux of the story is someone doesn't like the fact that their pond's dirty is weird. Yeah. But it's cool, so it's fine. Yeah. It works. What more do you want? It's comics. Get over it.
Does the Rogue turning into stone kind of remind you of like a Disney princess thing?
It's very Disney-esque. The way she's just laying there with all the flowers is very like Sleeping Beauty.
I'm thinking like Snow White and all that.
Yeah.
So do you think they're gonna kill off Brian, like completely from the?
I hope not. I think there's, Captain Britain's a core.
Yeah.
So there's room for two of them, but no, we'll see how that one. Obviously, the brothers are going to play a part in it somewhere.
Oh yeah, Jamie. Yeah. He's like one of the most powerful mutant. He's another one of the powerful. He's like a mega level.
And I forgot because they brought him back in this issue, didn't they?
Yeah.
The whole gold. Sorry, not gold balls. Egg.
Gold.
It's like, no, you're gold balls. You're not egg. That's a dumb name.
I think they should just kind of lean into that, man. Just like.
Oh yeah, I don't think the book's trying to tell you to take it seriously. It's 100% like, it's not going to stick.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you're gold.
It's just kind of a levity moment where it's like, what is that guy going with gold?
I like how they're like, no, they've got to remain pure and all this and all that. Oh, it doesn't work properly. It's just like, something's going to happen here with these. I can feel
it. And I like the character design. He's just like a normal fat kid,
Yeah. It's just cool.
They finally represented the fat people.
I feel seen.
Me too, man. He's got glasses and everything. So.
But to move on from that one, because we're running quickly out of time here.
Yeah.
New Mutants.
Yeah, I mean,
Mutants #1. I can't remember who wrote this one. I say that Hickman is co-writing, so there you go, Hickman. I want to say Rosenberg was one of those.
Yeah.
One of the new guys, right? I enjoyed it. It's very much like
it's a reunion.
Out of all of them, it's the typical first issue.
Yeah, it reminded me of like a reunion special TV show. It's like, here's everybody you remember as the New Mutants, and they're still
it's like, hey, we're bringing back Wolfsbane because she was there.
Yeah, I mean, I remember she just plucked out of the obscurity again.
Yeah.
Like
she's looking a bit like Arya Stark in a minute, but
I mean, I like it. I didn't like it. I didn't go head over heels for the issue, but I didn't hate it.
I think it's because not a lot happened.
Yeah.
It felt very much TV sci-fi.
Yeah. Where
it's like, here's this one scene you'll have. You see this corridor and this and that. Everything's gonna look the same.
Yeah.
It's not horrifically written. It's like it's not bad. It's good. I'm just not entirely sure it's going to be the one that I keep on with. Obviously, right in the first arc, so I'm going to keep on with it until it's off. But it's very much let's get the game back together. Oh, one of us is missing in space. We got to go there. How are we going to get there? Star Jammers.
Cueing.
Cue the wacky adventure music.
I mean, I think I agree with you. You've got to have there's going to be series that you're going to just say, I don't know if I'm I don't think I'm enjoying this enough to buy weekly.
Yeah.
I mean, and out of all the ones that I've read, I think this is more leaning to the cut rack, for me.
Yeah.
So far,
I'll definitely the first arc just to get because obviously Hickman's on it, so something. This will be the series that has the one thing Hickman will bring up in 5 years that people will not have read it.
And then you're like, oh my god, I gotta reread everything.
I fell into that trap with Avengers. So.
Yeah, I mean, it could, but I think, for me, the why it didn't really stand out for me is every other first issue was that good, that much better.
Yeah. I say it had a lot to live up to, and the other kind of stacked against it.
Yeah, I felt
for it. It's kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of. But I mean, again, somewhere down the line, I'm gonna stick with the Hickman arcs just to see where it goes. If it doesn't do anything for me, I just kind of end it there and then just.
I say I'll tell you what happens in the Hickman stuff. So if you want to drop it, you can drop it. I'll be here to maybe try and explain it.
But it was very cool to see the proper New Mutants together, to see
that was nice. Yeah.
They're all roughly way different than they were.
Yeah.
When they
like how they even kind of poked fun at the whole. They're not new.
They're
old. They've been around for years now.
Midlife. And they're all in their 30s, probably.
Yeah.
Cannonballs.
Spain that comes back and she's obviously hey, I've been dead for years.
And she's only 15 now, so it's still the youngest.
It's like, wow, you're all 30. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's cool. I just don't know if it's gonna like. I don't know. It
seems like a very thin idea for a first arc. Like, yeah, we have to get Cannibal back from Shiar Space, and then obviously we can't get there in issue 1.
Wow.
I think I'll see how it goes. But...
Yeah, I mean, I think out of all of them, I think that if they had to like end any of the series, I mean, as of right now, I think that probably would have made the cut of like being, voted off the island, so to speak.
Yeah.
And who knows? Hopefully, Hitman has something in store for them to make them more predominant and more important.
I say something's got to happen.
It has to.
No, something's there. No, I don't believe Hickman will just like have this thing and it'll be like the lazy part of his idea.
It's like, we got everything else covered, but we're just gonna go and just put everything.
Just like, I've got 5 books, I need a 6. Just do New Mutants.
New Mutants.
Get Cannonball back. Let's just do that.
Yeah, I mean, Cannonball has to be somewhere, so.
Yeah. It's just like. We would have thought someone would have told him that he kind of chooses to be in space right now, and there's probably an easier way to contact with him. But
so what do you think of the other ones, the other titles? Like the X-Force one seems really interesting.
I say it's probably a good idea to move on to X-Force actually, because there's not much to say about New Mutants. It's okay, it's fine. No, it's not bad. It looks fantastic.
It's like a B, in my book.
A B is probably right. But to move on to X-Force, I don't know. It's good. It's probably the same level as X-Force, apart from that. That ending cliffhanger is a bit of a shock.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how, because this is the inherent problem with the concept of mutants being able to resurrect.
Yeah.
Because. We're just going to talk about the end completely. Spoilers, Charles is dead. Quote, dead for now. He's been shot through the face. Cerebro's broken. But we know full well that Cerebro's got a backup. And we know full well they can just bring Charles back whenever they want.
Yeah. So do you think they're going to... do you think they're going to introduce that thing that we were talking about, like where there's like a missing piece? Like maybe Cerebro, and then like that's, like they bring Charles back.
It's got to be something like that.
I mean that makes sense, right? Like
yeah.
I don't know.
I just find it interesting they done this early on.
Yeah.
Like the first issue is literally him getting shot in. I say getting shot in the face. We don't know if he's dead. You don't see a body. You see the helmet.
Yeah.
But the helmet's got a giant bullet hole in where the eyes would be.
It's a pretty big hole, man. I don't know if too many people got shot in the head and survived, so like, but yeah, I mean,
he has to worry about surviving because egg.
Yeah, gold ball.
I don't know. Yeah. It's very much like I know what you want me to feel, but it's not really working because of this. But at the same time, I know that I know that.
Yeah, and
so
it's like
there's obviously something else going there. I know exactly that they want me to talk about this in this way.
Yeah, like with this, it's like he knows he wants people talking about certain things. That's why he introduces it, and that's why he hints at something. But then, like in the background, he's got like, oh, you don't know about what's going on. Like that's the it's like he's directing the herd to a certain plot point. To
100%. So
I like the lineup too. So.
It's a really good lineup. It's a really interesting lineup. I'm not sure how I feel about Jean Grey being on X-Force, but I'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and I mean, that's that. I mean, like, because like X-Force is pretty, it's pretty violent, and like you don't really see her.
And they're definitely trying to sell this as like the espionage, the down and dirty side of the Krakoa and the mutants. So.
Yeah. Like the Black Ops team.
Yeah. I imagine it's going to be important to an extent. I don't know if it's going to be a case of only certain issues you got to kind of read. And like the rest is kind of... That's the impression I get of it right now. But
yeah,
they did that for a reason. I don't know what that reason is going to be.
Yeah. Also, gotta say, love to see Black Tom Cassidy back in his old, like.
Yes, it's no longer part of tree.
Yeah.
He looks like a person.
And he has that old costume looking.
Yeah, he looks proper old school. Yeah. I like how the exchange with him and Xavier is like, they don't trust you, right?
Yeah.
I convince them to trust you, and I trust them, but I trust you, because mutants. There are no bad mutants anymore. We're all good. We're all friendly, and then between the eyes, he's dead.
No, it's like, what is okay? Has Banshee been? Has anybody seen that character? Because like that's, I don't know. It just seems like. I feel like if that was a character,
Banshee's got to be somewhere. Like if Banshee's not the guy on the cover for Excalibur, which the more I look at it, the more I don't believe it is. Not that I can really see the cover from where I am because there's light on it, but he's got to be back somewhere. It's Banshee, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I mean, I think he could fit into this team pretty well. I'm with you on the Jean Grey thing. I'm not like, I don't know, dude. There's just something like everybody's.
She's not an espionage black ops person. She's not an assassin. So
something is not like the other thing.
But at the same time, the way all this operated, she kind of fits. But you could quite easily swap her out for Emma Frost. But Emma Frost is she's on the High Council, whatever they call it. The council.
All they have to do is just separate the walls. I mean, like it's.
I mean, it's just there's no doors in Krakoa for that family.
Yeah, they could do. I wish they would do a reality TV show out of that. That would just be bonkers.
That's just porn, isn't it? Right? Yeah. Hey, Axel Porn, have a free idea. Hickman's writing it for you. Just follow it. Just fill in the blanks.
Yeah, just make skin tight with their outfits.
Yeah, but no, it's definitely. I'll see how it goes.
I'm on board.
I'm not entirely sure where the whole Charles point is going, but I imagine it's more of a case of like it's just a catalyst. It's just an inciting incident. It's like, hey, look, they attacked us. Like, we're going to show the world that you can kill us. We're just going to come back.
Like kind of a God complex.
Yeah, kind of. Like, but at the same time, you need something to have gone wrong for mutants. So like maybe the backup wasn't done.
Yeah.
And maybe we get a Charles back who's not necessarily like this Charles.
Yeah. I mean we were talking about that last time. Like
I found it interesting that this entire issue was literally just a point we've talked about happening. And it's like, you know what? Cool. I like this. I don't know if I'm going to stick with it, but I like it.
Do we get a residual for that?
I doubt that.
I'll take it, man.
I don't even think they use it in the movies. The writers will get it, so I won't be surprised. No.
But do you think that it's a clone? I hate to go back back to that clone.
See, that's the thing, though, isn't it? Is it the real Charles?
It just seems, I don't know, man. Like, I get it. Like, but it just seems like it seems like something that you would build to rather than open with. Like the death of a major character like that. And
so the reason why it was the opening is kind of why I'm questioning it more. It's like there's something going on with this, and they want you to feel a certain way.
Yeah, it's like they're manipulating your emotions, man.
Yeah.
Psychological tease, man.
So it's a test. I don't know if we're gonna fail it, but
I think I'm gonna fail it.
I failed every test I've ever taken.
Don't do good tests now.
It ain't stopping now.
But I mean, I'm on board. I want to see where it goes. I want to. If it's again, who's writing it?
I can't remember, to be honest. Let me just Google.
Ben Percy.
Oh, Benjamin Percy, of course. Yes. Good writer, Benjamin Percy.
Yeah, and the art's pretty good too.
The art was great. That's the one consistent thing with these books. All the art's been great.
Yeah.
To be fair, all the writing's been great. This is unfortunately the weakest one. But
it's we say weakest as in it's not like
it's just an unfortunate term for something that's still really good.
It's good. It just doesn't bring much to the table.
Yeah,
it asks the question and it really doesn't. Like most of the other ones are just like it's just really good, right? Like the teams on these books have been really good. And didn't he handpick all these people to work with? So I mean, there you go. I mean, that's your answer right there.
I say there's obviously all the reason for everything and why everything's in place. It's just you're seeing the outline of the puzzle being made. We haven't got into everything in the middle yet. So.
Yeah, it's and
to make it worse, it's a pictureless puzzle, so it makes it 10 times harder to put together.
Or it's a puzzle of like one little item, and everything else is white. You know.
Yeah, just like and all the pieces are identical, so put it together somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on board. I'm on the ride for it. So like, I don't know, man. I just I dig it so far. So
same, and of course we only have one first issue left, which is Fallen Angels, which will be coming out this week or today, depending when you're listening to this. Is whatever week this came out in is the week that Fallen Angels came out in. So that's a book about Psylocke, Kid Cable, and Laura Kinney. So,
and like fun fact, there was a limited series back in the 80s.
Yeah, it was an 8-issue mini, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Fallen Angels, so they're very much going for that nostalgic X-Men film.
Yeah, and like I'm on board with it. You know, like that series wasn't like huge, but it was. It's good. I mean, the lineup is really good. Psylocke, man. Yeah.
So everyone loves Psylocke.
Yeah.
You know, it's just I'm getting this purely for Psylocke and Laura Kinney. So
yeah.
Kid Cable, I can take or leave it. How he plays into it, I don't know.
Yeah.
But from like the synopsis but I've seen like a couple of words being said, like it's about space gods or something like that, or they're god killers. So I don't know how this is going to play about or what's exactly going on, because obviously I haven't read it yet. But I'm hoping. A part of me wants it to be like a New Mutants level, so I haven't got to read all 6.
Yeah.
A part of me wants it to be really good.
He wants to be really good.
So I'm really torn. It's just like I can't afford to keep getting 6 X-Men books.
Yeah.
Marvel, we need to talk, but at the same time, don't stop.
I kind of see, like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but like, I kind of see some teams consolidating. That word, consolidating at some point. And I think New Mutants might be a casualty to that. Unless it's just
something drastic happens and it's the most important thing since sliced bread to mutants, like
yeah, and like I think a lot, and so far it just feels like everything's been put more focus on like the other books, and it just feels like a peripheral.
I'm also not convinced that these books are being written to last.
Yeah, and that's good too. I think.
Absolutely. I think if you go right, you've got 8 issues.
Yeah,
we only need this story for 8 issues. Just do we need this thing to happen. Get us here.
So, has anything been announced as like a limited series, or is it? Do you think it's just going to go?
I don't think anything's announced, but I'm just convinced that.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, like.
It's mainly the way they're talking, like, oh yeah, the phase 2 of Dawn of X, and you got Wolverine, and you got this, and you got a Giant Size in the Franklin book. I can't. It's not sustainable to have half your like monthly books be X-Men. It's just that's just too much. Like,
I mean, if you had to consolidate teams, which teams do you think you would mesh well?
I'm not sure. I'd have to really think about that one, to be honest.
The X-Men proper book, that I think stays the same, like for sure.
Yeah, I think the two that you have to leave are X-Men and Marauders.
Yeah.
I think those two you kind of can't really mess with. But...
Yeah. I think, especially with what they're I guess, like presumably trying to say in Marauders, I think that's a long-term story if that's the case.
Yeah.
That's just not a miniseries type feeling.
It feels a lot bigger than it is. But...
Yeah. And I mean, like New Mutants, if it went into like a limited series, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I think the same with X-Force. Like X-Force, you can kind of do like a Suicide Squad and just like do arcs for each one and do that one.
And then if you had to bring it back, mix the teams up, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Just put new people on X-Force.
But they definitely can't continue with like 8 books. Man. That's just
no,
ridiculous.
I think Excalibur, you could probably do it as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
In fact, you know what? I said I had to think about it. Everything apart from X-Men and Marauders, you could probably make a limited series. Like, if you want to bring it back, you can bring it back with someone else. Like,
yeah, like kind of a new team.
Yeah.
The only thing that I'm still not really sure about is the Kid Cable thing. I'm not like.
Yeah,
I'm not
it
like.
doesn't help when they introduced him in the that Uncanny run before Uncanny started proper. Like, I wasn't really keen on it. Like, it's just a weird idea. Like, he looks fantastic because Pepe Larraz designed him, and his introduction, he looked really cool because the art was amazing. But apart from that, it's just like I haven't read enough with him. But you know, Hickman's clearly got an idea with it to do something.
Yeah, I mean,
so.
He's a summer, so he's important.
Yeah. Also, Cable's dead, and it's the only Cable we got. So even though you could just kill this Cable and go get Big Cable, but
that I think that would get messy because like.
Also, I think doesn't it for the first time give Jean and Scott a child, like proper, that they can influence, and it's not like he's not an adult or like Rachel Stammers. Like
he's basically a senior citizen. Like, by the time they get together. A gigantic senior citizen, but a senior citizen.
So, you know, like maybe that dynamic's going to play a lot more into it, and it gives Jean and Scott something different to do.
Yeah.
The more maternal side. So.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to see. I don't know if I would like to see Havoc in a different team eventually.
Yeah. I like to see Havoc just do something.
Something important. Like
he's been very all over the place since Original Sin. Not Original Sin, Axis. It was like, you're evil now. Oh, spooky Havoc.
All you have to do is add red eyes, and you're like,
it's just like
pretty on the nose.
And then Havoc died, and then came back, and then died again, and came back. But that's just Havoc.
And then like with the third Summers, I can't remember his name. Was it Gabriel?
Gabriel Summers, Vulcan.
Yeah, I think I could see him on like. I want to see a Starjammer like limited series with him on it.
I'm surprised they didn't announce a Starjammer series, to be honest. Because they've been in 2 books now. It's like,
I mean, like, I think eventually that's gonna happen. But they don't seem like a type of thing that could be a long lasting like.
No, that would definitely be like a 6-issue thing. No.
I could dig a miniseries with them on it, and I mean, I think the only one that's kind of sacred to me is the X-Men proper, because like that's just, I mean, it's X-Men, and it's like them, it's them proper, it's not like a watered down version of it.
Exactly. But right, that's going to bring us to an end for this week. We could go on for another hour and a half, but
I told you we could.
I just saw the time and I was like, we did it again.
It's my mutant power, man. I can just draw like conversations.
I'm like, believe it or not, I'm not much of a talker. But you get me talking about something I can go on for hours. So talking with other people that can talk for hours is kind of my weak spot. Just like, I'm awful.
I like to ask.
And my concept of time is horrific.
Oh, no, for sure.
I'll be like, it's 40 minutes. Oh, it's an hour and 20. Damn, where did those 40 minutes go?
The bandwidth that it was used today.
Yeah. So, hopefully these make up for, not being here, but circumstances, they happen. Don't apologize. It's no one's fault. It's, especially that. Like,
it's
bad, sure. Bad.
It's not like I had diarrhea for a long time. It's just something.
I mean, we could make that the official story. But...
I mean, I'm down with that. I mean, like, I am old. It's plausible. So I eat a lot of hot food.
Like they should.
I have cataracts.
He was pooping. He pooped for a month straight. Be thankful he's still here.
So, I've been sitting on the toilet for the last 3 weeks. So, like, cut me some slack here.
You heard of a red ring of death?
Well, literally.
Anyway, don't demonetize me on YouTube, please.
Sorry.
So I ended on the poo talk again. So there you go.
That's our motif, man.
Catch you again next time. So bye.
Bye.